test it.
Hi guys, Justin here from Superbeings, and we are on a fruitarian journey of fruit here in Ibiza. It's a raw food retreat cleanse, and we've been here for 8 days. We're having a fantastic time, mainly eating fruits and vegetables, a few seeds, so it's a real detox, and we're all getting nice and healthy as well. And Todd Acamesis here has been running some meditations, some fantastic stuff. He's an out-of-body experience expert. And we've been doing some group meditations, and also some with the music at night. We've got this music with the headphones, and it's like 4 hours, and we listen to it at night, and hoping to get out of body experiences or lucid dream experiences as well. So there's a difference. And a lot of us have got some results and had some pretty wacky times, I think. So Todd, it's really great to meet you, and thanks for taking the time out to have this interview.
My pleasure, Justin. Thank you.
Can I just ask you what you do?
Sure. For the last few years, I've been teaching out-of-body exploration, lucid dreaming, deep meditation. I find all of them perfectly interlocked together. Everything's just a state of mind, so we're just exploring, through meditative states to achieve, states of consciousness beyond what we're, our physical waking consciousness, and it can be quite an interesting trip.
And when did this begin?
It began when I was about 6 years old, when I first started having conscious out-of-body journeys, and then I kind of rekindled my interest as an adult about 8 years ago, and about 4 years ago I decided to start sharing my experiences and sort of guiding other people and providing insight to anyone who also needed assistance, because sometimes people have very spontaneous out-of-body experiences. And some of it can be quite frightening if you don't understand what's going on, like sleep paralysis, for example. That people can wake up in the middle of the night straight from sleep and completely be in a state of paralysis. And if they don't know what that is, it can be quite frightening, and they can make them feel quite vulnerable. So I sort of provide guidance to people who are already experiencing stuff, or who desire to experience more than just their physical body.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And why do you do what you do?
Well, for me, I feel that the out-of-body state of consciousness, in particular lucid dream states, this has shown us that we all go around in our spiritual circles telling each other, we're spiritual beings in human bodies. Well, at some point, we have to begin that waking up process. A lot of people would say, the idea is that we're supposed to be here, focused here on physical reality, so we have to be mindful in the moment. And this is an extension of that. When we go to sleep at night, we practice staying mindful during our sleep practice, so for lucid dreams and conscious out-of-body journeys. That way we're not just aware and in the moment and here and now, but we're also aware and in the moment of the eternal now. And it helps us with that reawakening process, because we won't stay human forever. So at some point, we must re-engage with these other levels of our consciousness. And one of the best ways to do that is through the out-of-body state and through lucid dreaming. You can access that fuller spectrum of your consciousness, therefore that fuller spectrum of your being. Wow,
that's amazing. And so, what might happen in an out-of-body experience?
Could be a range of stuff. You could have the very classic out-of-body experience where people suddenly might feel a lot of vibrational energy. They feel as if a lot of electricity is going through them. Feels like it feels as if their bed is shaking, like an earthquake. But it's nothing physical. It's a very inward sensation, but it's so powerful. It feels like it's the physical body shaking, but it's an inward sort of vibration. From that point, people will perhaps then feel as if they're floating away from their bed, floating towards the ceiling, or maybe they roll out of bed. And if that's the case, if it's one of these standard out-of-body experiences, they could then walk through a wall, they could go and visit a friend, they could go and fly, they could go to any point within physical reality and see things in real time. That's a earthbound type out-of-body experience, and a very classic experience. You could also have an experience where it's called more of a mental projection, where you project straight into the astral plane, so astral projection. It's exactly the same thing. The difference is, you don't have that sensation of leaving your body, but you can arrive to, that's interlife state of consciousness, or what religions would call the afterlife, environments. And these are just extensions of the human journey. This is where we find ourselves after we transition death, and these are just community environments that help us sort of unwind from the physical journey we just had. And we do life reviews. There's so many things that can be done in those levels of consciousness, preparing for maybe another incarnate physical journey. So accessing those very higher levels of reality can be quite interesting. People can have one-to-one meetings with guides. Guides can take on a form, even a human form, and you can meet them face to face while on the body. It's one thing for people to say, "Oh, I can feel my guides around me, and I can receive information from them." It's another thing to sit with them, like you and I are now, on another level of reality, and have a cup of tea. And it's not just a cup of tea. We can converse in a way that you can't converse very easily while in your body with a guide. So you can do that. You can go to the very highest levels of this sort of reality system and have a moment of unification with that highest part of your consciousness. People call it the higher self or the soul, the monad, many different labels for these things. And everything that we sort of can access while out of body, we can then apply on this level of reality. This is just extension of our being, an extension of our knowledge and wisdom that's being held on other levels of who and what we are. So if we can access that information during this reawakening process, then we can start to apply a lot of that here in our waking lives and become, if you like, shining beacons of light for people around us.
Wow, amazing. And I know there's going to be skeptics that are also watching this video, and they're going to say, "Oh, it's a fantasy. Oh, it's in your mind." I'm not one of them. I would believe that these experiences I'm having are actually real. They're just not on this dimension; they're on another dimension. Is there anything you can say or give us a story of to validate, your experiences?
Absolutely, and you've just nailed the word. It's validation. I've had shared out-of-body experiences, shared lucid dreams with other people, and to be able to sort of go out of body with someone else, have exactly the same experience, come back, and both independently report the same experience. That's quite profound, and that's some deep level validation for those two individuals. Yes, it doesn't validate the experience for everyone else, but it does for those two individuals, and that's quite powerful. Or maybe you go out of body and you meet a deceased loved one, and they pass you some information that only one other person on earth knows, and you share it with that person, and for them it's validation that their loved one has survived death, and that consciousness survives death. So I think we might have a technical problem.
Oh.
Yeah. It looks as if you're covered in mist. It started happening not long ago. It's like a fog.
Me or us?
No, there's a fog over you both now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were both crystal clear.
Really weird.
But now there's an actual mist.
You've got to see this.
Do you want to sit down? Sit down there.
We cut it all
Todd.
out. We cut out this bit.
Because it was fine, but now you're all foggy.
Oh my God!
It's there's a mist. It's slowly happened. It's at first I thought it's my eyes, but no.
Is this going to show up in the video?
Yeah.
This should show up in the video. This is amazing.
There's a mist happening.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. There is a huge entity here.
Yeah, I saw both of your auras jumping out slightly, the contours of your auras,
This
and I
is
thought,
massive.
okay.
You can't
and then,
filter this out.
Yeah. And now it's getting thicker. You can see the mist is getting
even
thicker.
Do you want to just press stop then?
Do you want to stop this?
I wouldn't press stop.
Do you not want to see what's going to
Let's
transpire?
just carry on.
Let's carry on.
So
we
where were we?
can always pick this up, again another time. But this is phenomena that should be caught.
Yeah.
Okay, the mist is changing colour.
Wow.
It's getting slightly more golden.
You don't catch things like this every day, man.
Oh my God. Well, if it does show up in the video, then it's proof of maybe something. Maybe it's trying to show us that
This is
proof.
You glad you came to be the camera woman now?
We can do
It might
this
be
on
my
purpose.
aura. Sorry,
It
I'm
could be
sending
yours.
something out.
Okay, so where were we?
Well,
You're just going to tell us about this. You validate it.
well, the validation is very important, and I think we're getting a bit of that on film right now, which is brilliant. But yeah, validation is, for the individual, very important. Science, we can't depend on science to prove to us that we're more than our physical bodies. There's too much politics in science right now, and it's going to take a while still. So for the individual to sort of pick up the baton and say, look, how can I validate this for myself? How can I know I am more than my physical body without, me sort of thinking this is just psychosis or I'm just hallucinating.
Yeah.
So to have a shared out of body experience or a shared dream, and you literally report the exact same experience, or maybe you go and visit a friend's house and they set up an experiment at their house. Maybe they tape a word onto the wall or a whole a photograph of something, and you go and you see this word or this photograph, and then you come back, get in your body, and then you send them an email and say, this is what I saw. There are ways to validate this, and it has been validated with some research. There's a lot of near-death studies that are taking place in university hospitals around the UK, for example. So there are opportunities to validate this, but this is more for the individual to validate for themselves, and I think that is very important, so people don't kid themselves about what's taking place.
Yeah, because you've got remote viewing, which has been used for a long time.
Absolutely, and there's incredible data that's been produced on the remote viewing effect. So I think without a shadow of a doubt, research has shown a psychic / other worldly experiences, and our consciousness survives death. Our consciousness is non-local. Again, this is just, I think, more for the individual to show for themselves. And there's nothing like having a direct experience to show people, evidence of something.
Fantastic. Could you share one story, maybe?
Sure, absolutely. Wow, there's so many. But I would say maybe one that would be very helpful for a lot of people might be about my stepfather. Years ago, my stepfather died when I was 23 years old, and I never really had a great relationship with him, and I never had the opportunity to say goodbye to him or say sorry for the things that happened. So after he died, probably about maybe 13 years after he died, I started having these conscious journeys as an adult again. And on one out-of-body experience, I went through this tunnel of light, like a near-death experience you might report, and suddenly wound up on one of those astral plane environments where people live after they die from this level of reality, after they transition. And he came to me during that experience, and in that experience he gave me this amazing hug, and as we embraced, it felt as if all the negative energy between us was being disintegrated right then and there in the moment. And everything, what you could label karma, all those thought patterns between us that are locked away in our subconscious and creating maybe limited experiences, was released in that one moment. And so for me to be able to have the opportunity to get closure with a deceased loved one that I didn't get closure with in this level of reality, that was quite powerful.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people that might think about their loved ones, do they survive death? Can I visit them? It's powerful stuff.
Yeah, no one ever leaves us.
No, absolutely not.
There's no such thing as death, because energy is only transformed, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Einstein proved that, didn't he?
I think
We're all
so.
just
Probably,
energy.
yeah. I think Einstein was absolutely epic with sort of his awareness of reality.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing. How can people find out about you?
They can visit my website. It's www.journeyoftruth.co.uk. And I typically run workshops in the UK, and always happy to help people explore deeper.
Fantastic. Thanks, Todd.
My pleasure, Justin. Thank you.
Sit there, because you can't see nothing then.
Oh my.
Do you see? You were
God.
just silhouettes for a while, and you go and sit down, let Justin see.
No.
Well, you can turn the thing around, the screen around.
You want to try
so
and
we can
see me?
Because it might be a camera effect, actually. Did we think about that?
I've
You
never
haven't
had that
set
before.
any other camera.
I've been recording,
He's been
all
recording
the
for
time.
quite a
Never done
while.
before.
Wow. Well, yeah, go have a look. You can't really see us anymore. You've got sound.
What?
Do you see?
Oh my god! This is incredible. Well, let's just stop now.